Rice is life for most Filipinos as it accounts for 10% of the household budget. The government is finding ways to make the staple more affordable. Joining us on the phone is Agriculture Spokesperson Assistant Secretary Arnel de Mesa. Magandang umaga po. Thank you very much for joining us, ASEC.
Magandang umaga, Paolo. Good morning.
ASEC, the NPCC recently approved a resolution urging the DA to declare a, quote, food security emergency for rice. First off po, can you tell us the average price of rice in the market and why do consumers still complain about yung exorbitant cost po nito?
Paolo, of course, depende yan sa variety at saka yung classification ng rice. For most of the 5% broken, this is still above 50 peso level. The good thing is last year before Christmas break, nasa 60 plus level pa yan, 62 to 63. Recently, when we're moving around together with DTI, nasa 54, 56 level. So there are already decreases in the prices already of the 5% broken. For the 25% broken, this is about 45 to 52 pesos na presyo naman sa mga palengke na nakikita natin.
The prices that you mentioned po, at least trying to keep it down, has it been affected by the declining price of global rice in general and of course yung rice tariffication law which cut down the imported rice tariffs from 15% to 35 or to 15% from 35?
Actually, it was EO 62 sorry, that reduced the tariff rate from 35 to 15%, which was issued by the President June last year. And then we in-expect natin hopefully after that issuance of EO 62 and the declining prices of rice in the international market, plus the significant volume that's coming in our country, we're expecting sana talaga as predicted by Mesa and DF that there will be significant reduction in prices. Bumaba pero hindi ganun kabilis as reported by the Philippine Statistics Authority, which led to NPCC approving such a resolution.
Well, you mentioned the resolution po. In fact, kasi Agri Chief Francis Chu Laurel Jr. Supports the resolution to declare a food security emergency for rice. If it does happen, when will it happen po? And of course, what can the expected outcome be should the food security emergency be declared?
We are still awaiting for the copy of the resolution from the NPCC. As mentioned, the Secretary is supportive of this measure simply because as per the amendment to Rice Certification Law, which is RA 12708, it will give us the opportunity for the National Food Authority to release its stocks. Remember last year, NFA was able to procure about 300,000 metric tons of rice, is equivalent to 6 million of palay. I mean, that's equivalent to 6 million bags. And right now, punong-puno talaga yung mga warehouses ng NFA, and we really need to dispose this. So we had a meeting with the Metro Manila Council yesterday, and it was agreed that pwedeng ibenta ito at 36 pesos so that the LGUs can sell it to 38. So the main intention really for such declaration of the food security emergency later on by the DA is for us to really move the stocks of NFA.
Yeah. Also, in relation to that po, there is also the issue of yung imported rice. If I'm not mistaken, there is already a suggested maximum retail price starting Monday, January 20 of around 58 pesos per kilo para sa imported rice po. How do you think this will impact yung farmers and other stakeholders? And of course, for those who violate this, what are the penalties po awaiting them?
Tama yun. The MSRP set at 58 pesos per kilo. Initially, for imported premium quality, ito yung 5% broken. And eventually, it will be subjected to review. And we're looking to further reduce this to 55 to 52 and eventually 50 pesos in the coming weeks. We are carefully balancing yung interest, of course, the consumers of our farmers, so that the farmers will not lose yung kanilang planting intention kung masyadong bababa yung presyo naman ng bigas sa merkado, especially for the local rice natin. Sa market, we're expecting nga na this might help really yung pagbaba. At yung nga, kagaya ng nabanggit ko kanina, we're seeing already prices of rice going down, especially for this high quality rice. And eventually, it will affect as well yung mabababang kalidad ng bigas din.
Now, sticking to the issue of rice in general po, the government does have a Rice for All program. Is there anything you can tell us about yung programa po nito?
Yes, yung ating Rice for All, iba-iba to. We started selling Rice for All, that's 25% broken, well-milled, at 45 pesos, and we reduce it further to 43, 42, and 40. And then, starting today, we're selling it now at 38 pesos per kilo. Ang sources natin ito are both imported and local rice natin. And we're looking na siguro depende sa mga susunod na panahon kung we can still see further reduction sa presyo sa international market. We can still further reduce it. But for now, yun nga, na-sell natin ito at 38 pesos per kilo starting today.
A bit more on background, sir, if you could give it for us. Kasi syempre, we actually looked at different surveys with regard to the concerns of the Filipino public, and one of the recent surveys that we looked at was that access to affordable food is among the top 3 concerns of Filipinos, apart from addressing, of course, yung high cost ng rice. For those who are curious in particular, ano po yung mga factors in consideration with regard to the spikes recently in certain products, agricultural products such as fish, fruits, vegetables, and of course, particularly rice? And of course, what can the DA actually do about it?
Sa rice, actually, nga, marami na tayong ginagawa dyan. Itong MSRP natin, itong possible declaration ng emergency to release NFA, na maibebenta pa na mas mababa itong ating mga Rice for All, yung P29, and other programs. Sunod-sunod ito para lalo mapababa yung presyo ng bigas. In certain commodities, for example, yung tomato, which we saw increase in prices since last week. Malaki na rin yung binaba niya from last week to this week of 300. Ngayon, nasa 140, 150. And we can still see na bababa pa yan up to the level na less than 100 in the coming days because darating na rin yung ating mga harvest by February.
And of course, in terms of government support for farmers with the local produce po, how do you help them compete with yung mga cheaper imported products that have been coming in the market as well?
Of course, the main mandate of the department is really to help our farmers increase their productivity and their income as well. So all our focus, majority of our focus are really on the local production natin. In fact, karamihan ng budget natin ngayon are inclined towards that. At we're also focusing on critical agri-infrastructure, that's long-term in terms of irrigation, cold storage, and post-harvest facilities. So tuloy-tuloy yung also yung pagbibigay natin ng mga inputs like fertilizer, seed, irrigation, and agricultural machineries to most of our farmers.
Asek, thank you very much for all of the insights and of course the update, especially with regard to rice prices. Hopefully we get to talk to you again very soon.
Thank you, Paolo. Good morning.
That was Agriculture Spokesperson, Assistant Secretary Arnel de Mesa.